Hey guys, this is Groww and today we will talk about the top performing mutual funds. Mutual funds are basically an indirect way of investing in the stock market and one of the most popular methods used by the Indians for investment. Mutual funds are like a fund or an investment vehicle where a large number of people pool in their money and a professional fund manager invests that amount in a financial instrument. Once you decide which fund you want to invest in, उसके बाद आपकी टेंशन खत्म. उसके बाद सारी की सारी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी उस फंड मैनेजर की. He will take care of everything else. It is especially beneficial for those who don't know much about the markets, don't understand them well enough, yet they want inflation-beating returns that are better than the bank FDs. Of course, there is some risk involved in mutual funds, but it is less than investing in equities, and the risk goes down over long term. Now, there are different categories of mutual funds: large cap, mid cap, small cap, ELSS, Flexicap funds, Mutlicap funds, etc. Today, we will talk about the best performing funds in each of these categories. But before that, don't forget to subscribe to Groww and like this video. So let's start with the large cap funds. These are equity funds that invest a major proportion of their total assets in large cap companies. That is, companies with market capitalization of more than 20,000 crore rupees. You know, badi blue chip companies. So obviously, the risk is less compared to small cap or mid cap, and the returns are steadier. बहुत ज़्यादा ups and downs नहीं होते. And these are the top 3 performing mutual funds in this category. On number 3, there's Mirae Asset Large Cap Fund Direct Plan Growth. It has given a CAGR of 15.89% per annum in the last 5 years and 52.07% in the last 1 year. Its expense ratio, that means the kharcha that goes from your pocket, is 0.52%, which is decent. On number 2, there's Axis Bluechip Fund Direct Plan Growth. This has given a CAGR of 16.3% per annum in the last 5 years and 41.45% in the last 1 year. Its expense ratio is 0.49%, which is lower than that of Mirae. Lower the expense ratio, the better it is. One should always check out the expense ratio as that makes a difference over the long term. And on the top spot is Canara Robeco Bluechip Equity Fund Direct Plan Growth. This has given a CAGR of 16.69% per annum in the last 5 years and 50.3% in the last 1 year. Not bad, but the expense ratio is almost double. It is 1.04%, which is on the higher side. Next, we talk about the mid-cap funds. These funds invest in equity and equity-related instruments of mid-cap companies. So basically, they are like medium-sized companies with a market cap between 5,000 to 20,000 crore rupees. They usually give better returns than large-cap funds, but they are more volatile and more prone to risk than large-cap. And the top 3 performing funds in this category are, well, I feel I'm announcing some kind of awards at an award function, isn't it? On number 3, there's Kotak Emerging Equity Direct Plan Growth. It has given a CAGR of 17.79% per annum in the last 5 years and 77.08% in the last 1 year. Its expense ratio is 0.55%, which is decent again. On number 2, there's PGIM India Midcap Opportunities Fund Direct Plan Growth. This has given a CAGR of 17.88% per annum in the last 5 years and 94.81% in the last 1 year. Its expense ratio is lower too, 0.49%. And on the top spot is Axis Midcap Fund Direct Plan Growth. This has given a CAGR of 18.47% per annum in the last 5 years. That is the highest in this category, but 56.57% in the last 1 year. So it did not perform as well as its competitors in the last 1 year. Expense ratio is similar, 0.5%. Next, we talk about the small cap funds. These funds invest majority of their assets in small cap companies, सबसे छोटी वाली, with a market cap of less than 5,000 crore rupees. Let's talk about the top 3 performing mutual funds in the small cap category. On number 3 is Axis Small Cap Fund Direct Plan Growth. It has given a CAGR of 18.4% per annum in the last 5 years and 65.84% in the last 1 year. Expense ratio is 0.36%, which is really good. Like I said, jitni kam expense ratio, utna kam kharcha. On the second spot, we have Kotak Small Cap Fund Direct Plan Growth. It has given a CAGR of 18.56% in the last 5 years and a whopping 108.32% in the last 1 year. 1 year may more than double the money. Expense ratio is 0.6%, which is okay. And on the top spot, we have Nippon India Small Cap Fund Direct Plan Growth. It has given a CAGR of 19.43% in the last 5 years and 94.01% in the last 1 year. But its expense ratio is also on the higher side, 1.01%. Large cap, mid cap and small cap के बाद अब बारी ELSS की. That's equity linked saving schemes. These are your tax saving equity mutual funds. You get a tax exemption of up to 1.5 lakh on your annual taxable income under Section 80C of the Income Tax Act. But there's also a lock-in period of 3 years. And the top 3 performing funds in this category are: on number 3, there's BOI AXA Tax Advantage Fund Direct Plan Growth. It has given a CAGR of 18.25% per annum in the last 5 years and 61.92% in the last 1 year. Expense ratio is 1.51%, which is quite high. On number 2 spot, we have Mirai Asset Tax Saver Fund Direct Plan Growth. It has given a CAGR of 21.6% per annum in the last 5 years and 66.01% in the last 1 year. Expense ratio is 0.35%, which is quite good. And on the top spot, we have Quant Tax Plan Direct Plan Growth. It has given a compounded return of 22.53% per annum in the last 5 years and 114.2% in the last 1 year. That's pretty good. Well, markets have made new highs also in the last 1 year. Expense ratio is 0.57%, which is more than that of Mirai. Next, we talk about Flexicap funds. These are open-ended mutual funds that invest in large cap, mid cap and small cap companies. Basically a mix of all the companies. तो अगर आप confused हैं और सब market caps में invest करना चाहते हैं, then this fund is for you. Flexicap funds have to invest at least 65% amount in equity instruments. Let's check out their performance. On the third spot, we have UTI Flexicap Fund Direct Plan Growth. It has given a CAGR of 16.7% per annum in the last 5 years and 68.75% in the last 1 year. Its expense ratio is 1.22%, which is quite high. On the second spot, we have PGIM India Flexicap Fund Direct Plan Growth. Its CAGR for the last 5 years is 18.06% per annum and in the last 1 year is 78.8%. Expense ratio is 0.47%, which is pretty decent. And on the top spot, Parag Parikh Flexicap Fund Direct Plan Growth with a CAGR of 18.67% per annum for the last 5 years and 67.69% for the last 1 year. Expense ratio is 0.95%, which is on the higher side. And last but not the least, we talk about the multi-cap funds. Multi-cap funds also invest in large cap, mid cap and small cap companies. But then, how are they different from Flexicap? In multi-cap, there is a fixed proportion assigned to each category. The multi-cap fund has to invest at least 25% each in large cap, mid cap and small cap. Whereas Flexicap can have any proportion but has to invest 65% in equity instruments. Now let's look at the multi-cap top performer funds. Invesco India Multi-Cap Fund Direct Plan Growth is there at the third spot with a CAGR of 13.72% per annum in the last 5 years and 53.12% in the last 1 year. Expense ratio is 0.93%, which is on the higher side. On the second spot is Principal Multi-Cap Growth Fund Direct Plan Growth. It has given a CAGR of 14.49% over 5 years and 54.96% return in the last 1 year. Expense ratio is 1.74%, that is quite high. And on the top spot, we have Quant Active Fund Direct Plan Growth with a CAGR of 20.08% per annum in the last 5 years and 104.2% in the last 1 year. That's almost double of the other two top funds in the same category. Expense ratio is also lower than the other two at 0.57%. So I hope all this information helps you choose the fund that is right for you. We are not promoting any particular mutual fund and all of this is just for educational purposes. Always look at the fund history, the expense ratio, the returns generated over the years and read the offer documents carefully before investing. Also, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Groww. Until then, here's me Gunjan signing off. Bye-bye, take care, keep calm and invest on.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.
Investment in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing. Please read the risk disclosure documents carefully before investing in equity shares, derivatives, mutual fund, and or other instruments traded on the stock exchanges.